From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. Authorities in Jamaica are urging people to seek shelter and stay indoors as Hurricane Melissa crosses the island. Jamaica's Disaster Risk Management Council told residents that now is not the time to be brave as the storm bears down on communities with close to 300 km/h winds. Melissa will eventually move northward later this week, and the Canadian Hurricane Center in Halifax says the storm is expected to play a role in dumping some ugly weather across eastern Canada. Meteorologist Bob Robichaud says a separate low-pressure system is to blame.
On Friday, we're going to see some wind and some rain, and the wind is probably going to extend into Saturday as well, at least early Saturday. But the hurricane or the tropical system itself should stay far to the south.
Meanwhile, authorities in Cuba are preparing residents for evacuation, says Melissa is expected to arrive soon in that Caribbean island country. Schools and school boards across Alberta are working to get more than 740,000 students ready to return to class on a day's notice after a 3-week province-wide strike. In a letter, the Edmonton Public School Board says it expects classes and bus service to resume as usual tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Calgary Board of Education says buses will run, but students and parents should be prepared for possible delays. The head of Alberta's Teachers Union says they will abide by a back-to-work order and not engage in illegal actions such as work to rule. Jason Schilling says that would lead to punishing fines, but he's also urging his colleagues to reevaluate going the extra mile when it comes to their volunteer time at school. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear arguments next week from businesses and states that say U.S. President Donald Trump's use of a national security statute to hit nearly every nation with tariffs is illegal. Victor Owen Schwartz started his business importing wine and spirits to the United States with his mother nearly 40 years ago. Now he is the lead plaintiff in a court case that could throw a legal roadblock in Trump's efforts to realign global trade through tariffs.
I was shocked that those with much more power and money did not step up. So when I was afforded the opportunity to speak for small American business, I took it. I had to. It was a moral imperative.
The Supreme Court hearing combines 2 cases challenging Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs and his fentanyl-related duties on Canada, Mexico, and China. And Israel has ordered a new round of airstrikes to be launched into Gaza just weeks after both parties agreed to a ceasefire. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says the decision was made after a series of security meetings. Hamas has said they will now withhold the handover of the body of a hostage to the Israeli authorities. ABC's Patrick Rebell has more.
It follows a meeting that he had called to discuss growing frustration from Israel over what it believes are repeated violations of the ceasefire. And the context is this frustration and controversy around the return of the remains of deceased hostages. Overnight, Israel has accused Hamas of trying to basically pretend to return the bodies of one of the hostages.
There are reportedly still 13 bodies of hostages in Gaza. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, it's a short turnaround for the Blue Jays and Dodgers as they get set for Game 4 of the World Series tonight in Los Angeles. Toronto and L.A. played the equivalent of 2 full games last night before Freddie Freeman put the Dodgers up 2-1 in the series with an 18th-inning homer that gave them a 6-5 win. Toronto's Shane Bieber faces Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani in tonight's pitching matchup. In the NHL, Vancouver Canucks captain Quinn Hughes will miss a second straight game tonight when his team hosts the New York Rangers. Head coach Adam Foote says the star defenseman remains day-to-day with a lower body injury, and he'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Hughes has 1 goal and 6 assists in 9 games this season. Elsewhere, the Toronto Maple Leafs welcome the Calgary Flames to Scotiabank Arena tonight. The surging Ottawa Senators are in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. Ottawa has won 3 of its last games by a combined score of 16-4. Also, Winnipeg is at Minnesota, Edmonton hosts Utah, and Montreal is at Seattle. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.